Welcome back, everyone! This is Geronitis, bringing you Feed the Beast 1710. Today we are starting on episode 52, and you might notice that all the chests are gone. Hooray! I also moved to the ME system. Having it over here close to the power was interesting and all, but I wanted to only run one energy acceptor, and having these over here and that over there just was not conducive to doing that. So I moved it all over here. And you might notice that I no longer have 6 drives, but I have all 10. As it turns out, I had a little bit more stuff than I really thought I did. So I wound up making some extras. I actually wound up making some 1Ks towards the end there just to get the extra items in there. Realistically, there's probably a bunch of these items in here that I can just get rid of, like the slime cleaver, this king slime broadsword. I really don't need those. I'll never use them, but I will probably come through at some point and clean this thing out. But for now, I'll leave it be. Speaking of this terminal, let me explain a couple things about it. I don't think I went over this last episode, but I honestly don't remember because I don't have a brain. So anyway, we have the sort by function. We can sort by the mod, which is going to have all the witchery stuff here and so on. It's in alphabetical order, and right now it's in this way. If we flip it down here, it will be in alphabetical order from A to Z, but we keep it like that. We can also do inventory tweaks way. I really don't know how the inventory tweaks way works, so I'm just going to ignore that completely. Item name, you can do it just like that from A to Z, and of course you can toggle it from Z to A as well. I don't know why because it starts with a slash. Either way, I like to keep it on sort by number of items, and I like to keep it so that the highest number of items is at the top. It's just my personal preference. Do it how you wish to. Here we have your view. You can view based on stored and craftable, in which case if you have auto crafting set up, you can actually see at the very bottom will be your craftable items, unless you switch it up this way, in which case it'll be at the very top. You can switch it also to just stored items, just craftable items, or both. Okay. The search box, okay, I like to keep it on NEI synchronized auto, but I will show you guys what all the options are. When you right click on this, if you are on standard search, you have no access to the search bar. Like you can type, and I'm typing things but nothing's happening. You push E and you get back out, okay? If you switch this, and now if you click right here, you can then type and search things, okay? And you hit escape to get out once you've clicked there. Now, you can also do the auto search. Auto search means that when you right click, it's automatically in the search bar, so you can automatically type to figure out what you want to do. Now, if you push E, it doesn't let you out. You have to hit escape to get out. Okay? And then, of course, there is the NEI synchronized auto and then the NEI synchronized standard, which just means that when you type here, it also types in NEI. So, in this case, we'll look for pistons. Okay, now it shows me that I have 14 sticky pistons and 4 normal pistons, but it also shows you over here that you have pistons in NEI. So I always keep it on NEI synchronized auto, and again, if that's your preference, that's your preference. That's the way I want to do it, so that's the way I do it. Okay, so now that I've explained that, by the way, just for the fun of it, if you actually take this, you can actually click over here and it will give you the recipe, and if you shift left click on the question mark, it will use the stuff in the ME system to go ahead and make it. Now when you're here at this point, you have to be careful about shift clicking. Okay, shift clicking in a normal crafting station like this is one thing. Shift clicking here can get messy, so be very careful. If you shift click, it will make a stack of whatever it is that you have, or use as much as your inventory in the entire ME system as is possible to make as many as is possible. So shift clicking in the ME system, usually not a good idea. Alright, so one of the other things we need to cover, first off, is we need to be able to turn these crystal growth accelerators on and off, and they're currently disconnected from the system. Okay, one of the things we're going to need to make is a toggle bus. Okay, and the toggle bus, no, we don't need the inverted one, just the normal toggle bus. It's actually very simple. It's just 2 redstone, a lever, and some cable. And we can go ahead and make one of these. Now, when you're putting one of these together, it's actually important that you be careful how you place this, because it actually does matter exactly how it's put together. So for this purpose, I'm going to have to actually break the energy acceptor for the moment, which is why I got the stuff out of this system, because 3, 2, 1 system's out. And now we don't have access to our items, except for the stuff that's in the actual crafting window, because that's not in the system, that's in the, technically it's sitting on top of the crafting table. Alright, so now when you're using this toggle bus, it will go into and stay in the block that you are currently putting it onto. And it will also stay on the side of the cable that you were putting it onto, okay? So I can put it right here, but I don't want it right there because that would put it in the block directly beneath this piece of glass. So we're going to place a piece of cable here, and that's going to bring the cable into this block. And you'll notice that that cable does not take up the whole block. So then we can stand over here, and we can right-click it there. And that then finishes taking up the rest of the block and adds the toggle bus like that. So now we can go ahead and put the energy acceptor back, and we now have everything hooked up and functional again. So now that we have this set up like this, we can go ahead and put ourselves a lever right here. Okay, now we'll do a way to have this automatically work at some point, or maybe I won't, I don't know, I'll have to think about that. But as you can see, the little spot right here is black, okay? If we were to right click here, see now it turns blue, and the crystal growth accelerators are online. So basically it just toggles the ability for things to pass through this line with the flip of a lever. So now I can turn these on and off as necessary. Cool? I think so. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and close up that spot. Now, well, actually we probably shouldn't, because we're going to be digging right back into this here in just a second anyway. Okay, now we have a couple of other problems that we have. Alright. Oh, by the way, yeah, in between episodes I ran the power line, obviously, from over there, underneath over to here. But that's a whole other thing. So now, one of the problems that we're going to have is when we put stuff in the Skystone chest, this stuff goes into the Skystone chest when it comes back, okay? So when we make our different processors or pieces, it always winds up in the Skystone chest. And that is both okay and also not okay. What we really want to do is have it so that when the products are complete, that they wind up in the ME system. Okay, so the things that are made here need to wind up in the ME system, not back in the Skystone chest, because I don't want to have to keep walking back over here to get the stuff. Okay, so we need to be able to pipe things into the ME system. And unfortunately, you can't pipe things into the ME system through the terminals or the drive. So we need a way for things to get into the system without having to manually put them in. And for that, we're going to need an ME interface. So let's see. No, not the pressure chamber interface. Let's see. The ME interface is actually a fairly simple block, but I didn't think I was going to have all the stuff necessary. Let's see. We're going to need some formation cores. And let's just make a couple of those. I know I'm going to use them. And some annihilation cores. And we'll make some of those. And now we can go ahead and make the interface. Now, the interface hooks into the ME system, and it allows you to automatically import and export items into and out of the ME system. All right. For the first part, we're going to put one right here. And as you can see, it hooks straight in. Now, when we right-click here, it shows that we can actually have various things happen here. Okay. Here, we can configure this ME interface to keep a certain number of items in it. Okay. So I can say here, keep 32 of the cobblestone with dark panel at all times. Now, it's saying in the configuration is here, this row of item slots is actually where they keep the stuff. Now, as you can see, as I'm taking them out, it's automatically putting more back in there. So when I put these back in here, when I look back at the interface, it now has them back again, and will continue to have them back as long as I keep taking them. Okay, now, if you place anything in the ME system that is not considered to be a configured item for there, it will go ahead and take them back into the system. So it works kind of like a chest. You can put items in here, and it will automatically put them into the system unless it's configured to be keeping them here to begin with. Okay, so let's see. Here's a perfect example. Let's grab some conduits. Conduit. Yeah, let's get some conduits. IR spelling. All right, so now the problem that we have is that the items that are coming from the other side of the base that normally went into the automatic sorting system here, well, they just dead end there right now. So now if I were to, and I went ahead and got some of this in between episodes so I could show you guys. If we were to be going out mining and we were to get a bunch of ores and they were to go into the sorting chest, which we're going to be changing this soon too, but as you can see, they go out there. They wind up getting sag milled here. And then after they get sag milled, they get cooked up and they wind up... Wait, where are they going? They're not supposed to go anywhere. There's nowhere for them to go. Are they winding up here? No. Where are they going? It dead ends right here. They're not supposed to be able to go anywhere. What's going on? Okay. I'm not sure where those just went. They're not supposed to be able to go anywhere. Huh. I haven't configured this to work yet, so I don't know where those items went. Give me just a second to figure out what just happened. Okay, found them. I've forgotten that I even put this buffer chest here. It would actually fill this buffer chest with the stuff before it actually did anything else with it. So, yeah. So the stuff is being processed, and now it's actually stuck right here because it can't go anywhere else. Normally, it would have come forward down this way and been sorted. Nothing can go in here that's not cobblestone or gravel, so it can't go here. And then the line dead ends over here and can't go anywhere else. So we're going to go ahead and now hook this into the ME interface and allow things to be imported into the system this way. Now, I think I need to change this because I think it always starts as an export. Yes. So now I can change this to an import, and we'll run back outside, and by the time I get here, this chest will be long since empty. Yep. So there we have it. It is now pumping those items directly into the ME system. All right, that is excellent. Okay, so now we have that taken care of. Now, that actually still does leave me with a little bit of a problem, and I got to figure out how I'm going to get around this. We want the printed silicon and the redstone and that stuff to remain here and not wind up back in the ME system, because we don't want the first pieces to get popped here and then wind up in the ME system, because then they won't be able to go ahead and make the secondary crossover. They won't be able to change into the actual completed circuits. So we need to make it so that only the completed items that we want the ME system to be able to use will be piped back into the ME system, and not every item that can be created by this. Okay, so I guess what we'll wind up doing is we'll go ahead and make ourselves an item filter. And, you know, we can use the advanced one. Why not? Well, yeah, we can. So what we're going to wind up doing is we're going to have it set so that items get pulled out of this chest and get put into the ME system. And the items that will get pulled in are going to only be the completed items that we want, which is, in this case, charged Certus quartz and the 3 processors that will be finished. So basically it'll run like normal, but when the processors are actually done, it'll go ahead and get pulled over into the ME system. So give me just a second. I'm going to go ahead and run these pipes around there and get the filter set up, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, got that stuff routed in, so now we should be able to go ahead and do this. Well, actually, you know, well, yeah, we'll just show it this way. I was going to say I'll just make a couple more of these, but no, we're not going to make any more of these at the moment. But as we can see, these items are still staying there, but these items are not. They're being pulled out, being brought over, and as you saw, I took all of the processors out of the ME system, so now, when we look in, here they come back. So now we can automatically make processors by dropping them in here, dropping the source materials in here, and then they will get processed and put back, as well as the charged Certus quartz. All right. Now, when we get into the AE auto crafting, I'll make it so that all we have to do is tell the system, hey, I want some of these, and then it will automatically put the stuff in here and then keep it on hand as necessary. So now that we have that done, I need to talk just a little bit about the channel system. Okay, the channel system is new to Applied Energistics 2, and we are going to have to deal with this. Technically speaking, in the configs, you can turn it off so there are no channels. I think it's actually a pretty interesting addition to it, and it's worth looking at. So to deal with channels, first off, let's make some smart cable. Okay, your normal smart cable is just a piece of covered cable and some redstone and glowstone, and the covered cable is just your normal cable along with whatever color wool. Now, it will be whatever color the wool is, so let's look up wool real quick just so I can show you. Here we have white wool, and here we have light gray wool. And as you can see, it is, wait a minute, it's supposed to be the color of the wool. Huh, must have changed that. Alright, well that's okay. We can still make a couple of these. We'll go ahead and make ourselves about 6 of these just for the fun of it. And we'll go ahead and look back up these smart cables. As you can see, they come in all the 16 varieties of color. I thought that, oh, okay, you actually have to dye them now. Well, that's okay. So anyway, we'll go ahead and make these into smart cables. So now we have 6 smart cables. Now, the difference between normal cables and smart cables is that smart cables will show you how many channels your system is currently using. So for this purpose, we're going to shift right click here and take up that piece, and then we're going to put down a smart cable in its place. Okay, now with a smart cable here, you'll notice that it's got these funny little lines. Okay, the way that the system of channels works is that you have 8 channels per normal cable, okay? And a channel is considered to be something that can move items. You can accept items, you can put items into it, okay? So you can take items out and put items in. So a terminal where you can insert, as I just did, and remove items, as I just did, is considered to be a channel item, okay? So a terminal is an item. Now, terminal is an item. Yes, terminals are items. A terminal is considered to be a channel taking item. Okay? The ME drive is also considered a channel taking item because it actually holds all the items. So obviously items come and go from it. Okay? The ME interface is also considered a channel item because, as we saw before, we can actually place and take out items from the interface. Okay? So that's the 3 things that we have. The energy acceptor underneath there, it does not accept or remove items. So it just deals with energy. So as long as it only deals with energy, it's not considered a channel taking item. Okay? So only items that can accept or give out items are considered to be channel taking items. Okay? So what we're going to do now is, I'm going to show you this real quick. We're going to craft ourselves another drive, because I'm going to have a bunch of these anyway, so let's go ahead and make an extra now. Let's see, should be able to make that. Excellent. All right, now, when we place this drive down, it will automatically connect with the other drive, and we should now, bingo, see, now we have another channel. And when we take this up, the channel goes away, and add another channel. So a basic ME system, which is what we have here, can only hold 8 channels, okay? If you want to go past 8 channels, you're going to have to make yourself some other items. First off, being an ME controller. Let's see if we can look that up real quick. Here we go. The ME controller is used to extend your ME system to where it can hold more channels. Now, we don't need to do that yet, and we will be doing that in the future because I'm going to be using, gosh, before the end of the series, probably over 100 channels, if I had to guess anyway, but because my ME system's going to be huge. Anyway, but as you can see, we're up to 4 lines there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add, let's just go ahead and make ourselves a couple of things. Let's make ourselves a couple of buses. Okay, the buses in the Applied Energistics systems are used to import, export, or show items in a separate storage system, in which case we have the export bus, the import bus, and the storage bus. Okay, the export bus exports items from the ME system into a different container or other areas. Okay, the import bus imports from a container into the ME system, and as you can see, what I'm saying, this puts items out of the system. This takes items into the system. Those are both channel taking items. Okay, the storage bus is used to connect other storage devices to the ME system and give the ME system access to the items that are stored there. So basically, it lets the ME system pull and put from an inventory without actually taking up space in one of the storage cells. So we're going to go ahead and make a couple of these. It's going to require some interfaces and some sticky pistons, and we should actually have those. Sweet. Okay, we have one. Let's go ahead and make a couple more. Yeah, sure. 4 more sounds good. There we go. So now we have a total of 5 storage buses, okay? And let's grab ourselves some cable. By the way, if you right-click in the search bar, it clears the search bar automatically. So just so you know. All right, so let's grab some cable, and we'll put this up here. Now, I don't think that I'll ever actually use any of the skulls here in the ME system. I really don't think I will. But we're going to use this as an example showing you the different channels, okay? So we're going to go ahead and put this here, 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 and there, okay? Now that is 5 storage buses. Now, as you see here, we're using 4 channels currently, and with a total of 8 possible, which actually it should show here in the in Wayla up top, it says 4 of 8 channels. When we access these with the cable by doing that, you'll see that we now have 4 blue lines and 1 white line. That white line is showing the next channel, okay? So when we hook up here, now we have another channel used. So we're at 6 of 8. So when I put this one here, it's going to connect to both of those, and that is going to now be 8 of 8 channels, okay? But now that we have these here, the storage bus is showing that we have these hooked in. So let's look up skulls. Well, actually, we don't have to. It's showing right here on the front page. 919 wither skeleton skulls, 763 normal skulls. Now we can access these by just, taking things out, and you'll notice that they're actually being taken out up here. So we have 10 stacks plus 22 up there, but now we just took 2 stacks out, so we now have 8 stacks. Okay, and at the same time, if we put these back into the system, it goes back into the barrel because the storage bus is actually putting them in and out of the system, but it's not actually putting them in the actual drives here, okay? The storage cells are not having space used. So it's a good way if you have something that you have a whole bunch of, but you don't really want to take up space in your system to keep it, you put them in the storage buses, and that way you can see them in the system, but not have them take up space in the system itself. Now, we have made 1 extra of these. Now, watch this. When I connect this one up, everything's going to drop out. See? It shows that that's connected, but here on the smart cable, it all went black. And it says 0 of 8 channels. Okay? Now, what basically happened is we're trying to use too many channels. Okay? When you try to use too many channels, everything gets turned off. There's nothing here. Okay? I'm actually kind of curious if when you do that, does the power stop being taken? No, it's still taking the power running the system, but you can't access anything at all because you don't have enough channels, okay? So when we take that off of there, the system comes back online and it shows that we are now at 8 of 8 channels again. So you've got to be careful with the channel system. Like I said, it can be a bit of an annoyance, but I think it's going to be fun to play with. So that's how the channel system basically works. Now, if I really want to, just for fun, let's go ahead and I'll show you this. Let's make ourselves an ME controller. I have absolutely nothing necessary for an ME controller. Skystone block, smelting skystone. Okay, hang on a second here. This is actually a perfect example of this too, because this cooked stuff will wind up back in the ME system. Oh yeah, by the way, I added an extra sag mill that goes directly into the ME system. I noticed that when I was grinding up the Certus quartz and grinding up the Fluix crystals and all that stuff, that it was they would stay here and not go back into the system. So anything that goes in here gets ground up and gets put directly into the system. So just for the fun of that. All right, so let's see. All right, there's the ME controller. So we should now have that. What are we missing? Pure Fluix crystals. Fluix seed made from Fluix dust and sand into a pot of water. Okay, so that's the second thing. Okay, so we're going to have to... Okay, this is okay. We're going to have to get to this anyway, so let's see. Do we have any Fluix dust? Yes, we do. Excellent. Then let's go ahead and get some sand. Alrighty, and we should be able to go ahead and make these into seeds. Excellent. Alright, so... Yeah, we can work with this. Alright, so we're going to come over here, and we're going to configure this one on the south side to also export Fluix seeds. And then we will go ahead and put the Fluix seeds in here. They get dropped into the water, and we flip the lever. Now, I'm not really sure... Ah, crud. Dadgummit, why do I like to stand close enough to get these things sucked into my inventory? I swear, it's just this horrible flaw of mine. Oh, man, they made it to 3%. Because they started processing. Ah, that's brilliant. It will only take the unprocessed stuff. So, I don't know, why did I get all 24 of those? That didn't make much sense. Why are you showing to be constantly spinning through and dropping again? That's strange. That's got to be some sort of weird visual bug. Well, in any case, this won't take very long to... No, how did I get them again? Why is that happening? That should not be happening. Unless... No? Oh, do I have my magnet on? Maybe I have my magnet on and I just don't realize. No, no magnet on. That makes no sense. Let's do this. What? What is going on? I'm really not sure what's going on here, but that's okay. The Fluix seeds are growing. We're just going to wait for these to finish. Give me just a second. Alright, so I don't know why that was being all glitchy visual-wise, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and put our second item frame on here. And we're going to go ahead and put the Pure Fluix crystal in the item frame. And now the Hopper Hawk here will go ahead and pick these up. Yoink. And they should wind up back over here. Which I need to add the pure crystals of both forms to things that don't stay in the Skystone chest. So let's see. Oh, I'm out of pure Certus quartz? Huh. I didn't realize. That's okay. I can do something about that too. Here. We'll make some more. Since we've got this turned on anyway. Please tell me I turned my magnet off. Oh, thank God. Cool. So that should go ahead and work itself up. So since we have all this set up now, we should be able to go ahead. Oops, I forgot to actually grab some of this from over here. And while that goes ahead and processes, we'll go ahead and make the ME controller. Alrighty, so now we should be able to go ahead and bingo, one ME controller. And I get another one, networking switchboard. Awesome. Alright, so one of the things that this is going to do is basically make it so that we can have 32 channels off of each side. No, I'm sorry, 16 channels. 16 channels off of each side of the ME controller, okay? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, how do I want to split this up? I can probably just place the controller down right here. Now, the ME controller is hooked on here, and now has power being drawn from it. It is now drawing power, which we'll see that our power sucking has gone up. Wow, 124 after take. That's a lot more than I expected. We won't leave this on here because we don't really need it to be, but that's fine. So now when we actually look at this, I still don't know why it's doing that. That's weird. How is this stuff supposedly winding up in here? Is it actually flashing through here? No, it's got to just be a visual bug. Oh, no, there it finished, so... Okay, well, whatever. I'm just going to let that one be. So when we stand over here, we can now see that we have one channel going down, we have one channel going out here, and we have... It's impossible to see this very well. There we go, 2 channels going from here, okay? And up here, if we were to actually look up here, we can actually see that there's more channels going up here. So let's see, we have smart cable? We do have smart cable. So let's go ahead and take this one out and make it smart. And as you can see, this one has 3 channels going there. 1 there and 2 down this direction. And this piece right here is taking this one for itself. Now, we can actually separate this up if we wanted to, but the point is that we can now use all of the channels we want to, including this storage bus on here, because now we have extra channels. We really don't need to do this, but we can, so there it is. Okay, we don't really need to have access to these items in the system. I just wanted to show you guys how the actual controller and stuff works. So we're going to go ahead and take this off of here because I really don't want it to be here for the moment. We don't really need access to this stuff, but it helps explain the channel system a bit, I think, anyway. So we should be able to now just store this stuff in here for now, and we will actually get into using this more in the following episodes. Now, next episode, I'm noticing that I'm actually kind of running low on quartz. Well, actually, we have 211. That's not too bad, but I'm getting tired of manual mining, and I want to get started looking into Mystcraft. Mystcraft is going to allow me to create alternate dimensions for things. And since I want to get started into, well, not started, but get back into certain other mods that I am going to require different dimensions for, bees, and my ultimate mining system that's going to require its own dimension, I want to go ahead and get started with Mystcraft. So next episode, we're going to start with Mystcraft, hopefully create a couple of dimensions, and then we'll be really set to get going with some of our other things, like the recreation of Honeycomb Hideout. It has been long enough with me waiting, and I think that we will get started with Honeycomb Hideout pretty soon, get some really serious bee breeding going on, and have an entire huge bee system working. How are we looking over here? Yeah, 1 stack. Oh yeah, we got plenty of silk wisps now, so that's excellent. So yep, so next episode we're going to get started on Mystcraft, then we'll probably do the ultimate mining system. After the ultimate mining system, we'll probably get into bees, and I'm sure there'll be a couple other things in between there, but that's getting way out ahead for now. And of course, we need to get into auto crafting for the ME system, but we've got a functioning ME system for the moment, and I'm not going to complain about a functioning ME system. So until next time, this is Jeronitis signing off on episode 52 of my Let's Play series. Like me if you like me, subscribe if you want to see what we get into next, and as always, help spread the gaming!